This is beautiful Truckee, and you can see how much snow they've gotten. When we last left you, Rob, Friday, we were talking about Truckee getting 2 feet of snow. So here they are right now. So as of this moment, if you need to do something outside, this is probably the best time to go out there and do this. Maybe go to work or school, and Truckee is getting ready.
Yeah, you have a few hours till that weather starts picking up again. Good morning. I'm Conchetta Callahan. We do weather and traffic every 10 minutes, and today there is plenty to talk about. First, let's take a look at school closures. There are more than a dozen school districts in the Sierra and Foothills with closures and delays this morning. You can see them. They're right there listed on your screen. Now, keep in mind some schools in these districts will remain open, but if you live in the Foothills, visit abc10.com for a full list of delays and closures.
So here we go. We have team coverage on the severe weather, from heavy winds and rain, multiple closures, and even avalanche and blizzard warnings. Everything's on the menu today. Let's start with meteorologist Rob Carmack, who is tracking it all. Rob, I guess this is the time where we should get ready for what's to come later. How bad is this going to be?
I think this is going to be kind of bad, Walt, because the problem is that we've got the rain, which is its own story. It's going to be raining really hard in the middle of today. Another round during the commute tomorrow. So rain, big story. Snow, big story just by the sheer amounts. And then in the middle of all this, it's the wind that's really going to make all of these things go to the next level. So the rain, heavy at times with a lot of ponding. Even in between storms, there's going to be ponding on the road. And as you would guess, there's likely going to be some crashes. That's happening later on today. In the mountains, we have a very rare blizzard warning. What is a blizzard? That's heavy snow combined with really strong winds at the same time. Makes it very easy to close roads for safety. And then they could stay closed for a while. In other words, you can't get there from here, from one side of the Sierra to the other, because the whole stretch of the Sierra will be affected by that blizzard warning, which is happening right now. But technically, I think it's really going to be picking up in intensity and impacts later on today. So we've got a little wind. We've got lower visibility in spots. It hasn't really kicked in yet because what happened overnight has come to a lull. But then you just look right off the coast and what's happening in the coastal range right now. This thing is moving quick. That means later on this morning, definitely before noon, but I would say probably within the next couple of hours, we're looking at heavy rain, strong winds. We already have some Sierra roads closed, and many more could join the club, again, right around noon, if not earlier. So for more on that part of the story, we're going to talk to Bridget Biorlo. And Bridget, every time I talk to you, I feel like we're talking about snow in the mountains and road closures. So what's up today?
Exactly, Rob. We feel like a broken record sometimes, but it is a much different situation today with that blizzard warning kicking in right now, and it's only going to get worse throughout the morning. So if you have somewhere to be, this is the time to get there, because you are not going to want to drive in a matter of hours when the blizzard conditions, whiteout conditions kick in. And take a look at all the snow already on the ground. This is Dutch Flat. This has all accumulated on the roads, and it really has nowhere else to go. I mean, it's fluffy at first, really beautiful to play in and look at, but take a look at how icy it can get. So imagine driving in these kinds of slick conditions added onto the high winds, which decreases visibility. A very, very hazardous situation on the roads. Let's take a look at I-80, because Caltrans had to close the interstate multiple times yesterday. This comes on the heels of a prolonged closure Thursday night. They had to close it for about 16 hours, which is not something they do regularly. They understand the economic impact of that, with all the semis not being able to get to their destination, carrying millions of dollars in goods each and every day. But they say safety is top of mind, and they're prepared to close again today if conditions worsen. Let's take a look at Highway 50, because I was stuck in this last night for about 4 hours. As you can see, there are multiple accidents on the side of the road, which really slow down traffic. Then you take a look at the left side of your screen. This is eastbound traffic headed up to South Lake Tahoe. As you can see, traffic is at a standstill. It was that way for several hours, and Caltrans says this is a good lesson for any traveler heading up to the mountain, either direction 80 or 50. At any time, have a to-go bag ready with an extra pair of clothes, boots, water, food, blankets, because you got to be prepared to get stuck.
Biggest thing that we're always telling people is at least be prepared if you are driving in these conditions to take a look at what they might look like out there. You can use our Caltrans Quick Map or whatever app you use for driving, but at least have a good idea of what you're dealing with before you get up to chain controls, particularly. And if you haven't put on chains before, you need to practice that. Definitely a possibility over the next 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, that it's going to be extreme driving conditions and really not advisable unless you absolutely have to travel.
Extreme driving conditions, because not only are we factoring the heavy snow, but those 60-mile-per-hour winds. You might not be able to see anything ahead of you, which is why you're urged to stay home. Jordan Tolbert is in studio tracking the traffic conditions. And Jordan, we passed a checkpoint for chain controls over at Colfax. What else are you seeing out there?
Yeah, so those chain controls this morning go all the way from Colfax, which is actually pretty low compared to what we've seen so far this season, all the way up to the California-Nevada state line. And actually, I was supposed to go up to Truckee today, and I canceled those plans because of those conditions that we're going to see later on with the heavy snow and also blizzard conditions. So if you don't have to go, like Bridget was saying, don't go today. Maybe delay that travel till later in the week. Myers all the way to Placerville, that's where we're seeing those chain controls this morning. And Walt Conchetta, we're seeing a traffic hold right now. This is at Echo Summit all the way to Myers in both directions. So, you know, more things on top of already the chain controls and the conditions we're going to see later on today. So just urging drivers to be safe out there.
All right,
thank you,
Jordan, thank you.